Here's another SOS short. I am James Lott Jr., Super Organizer. My main show is Super Organizer Show or SOS Show with James Lott Jr. But every once in a while we just do shorts. I kind of tell you something that's going on. I've been in this business 16, almost 17 years, and I've been 10 years on the air. So I started this recently, just sharing. My last one got some attention. I did at will agreements. Not everybody agreed with that. So very interesting. This one's on word of mouth. We drink some coffee. Mm, spit on myself. Um, we're nearing the end of May. This is episode 269. Next week will be my 10-year anniversary, June 5th. So I was show for that. But why this show became popular, why my business became popular, I would say 80 to 85% was word of mouth. The other 50% was actual leads and me going out and doing stuff, other marketing strategies. But I'm telling you, do not underestimate word of mouth, even to this day. And I mean that in such a wonderful way. Like people go, oh, so there's several ways that I found this out because I was new to entrepreneurship, but I worked in retail and food service, and I always knew the product we carried, the product we put out. If someone liked eating our food, they'll hopefully tell someone else. They'd come to the restaurant. If someone liked our jeans and liked the pricing, they would tell their friends, go to so and so. They have great pricing and great jeans. So I knew word of mouth in that area was good. But a lot of times, in those cases, there were stores and restaurants, it's marketing and getting in publications and all that, magazines, ads. But I'm saying, as a professional organizer, we are a service-oriented industry. We're so personal and personable. It's a whole different world that the results are immediate, meaning if we clear a space, the space is clear. The client sees it. The client was like, for 10 years, the space has not been clear. Now you cleared it. That's immediate. I'm not saying the end result's immediate, but just saying like that when things start to happen, you start to see it. Your personality and how you treat them, how you do the job in their home or in their office or in their garage or on their yard, wherever, it's right in front of them. They can say, oh my God, James is so fun and friendly and he's whistling these songs and just get this stuff together. I mean, it's like it's right there. It's immediate. For me, my first, as I'm going back in time, my first client was my mom and my stepdad. They needed me. She told a friend, who became my first official client outside the family. When I was working with her, I was there for a little while, and it's just like, ooh, James was really good. She introduced me to her church, and I actually ran one of their functions. And then the ladies who were there loved me and how I ran it. Several of them hired me for jobs afterwards. So as you see what I'm saying, it was like that, I did well. My client's word of mouth was, I have this guy. She goes to the church. I work for them. Those church members go, oh, good. Let's like. Another one was a couple of years later. I had helped my cousin Bobby do her house. I helped her move in, organize it together. It's beautiful. Her friend comes over and says, wow, this place is beautiful. All my cousin said was like, my cousin James is an organizer. He's amazing. So she said, oh, well, can I try him? Okay. They passed our phone number. I talked to him, came over. We've been fast client friends, everything ever since. And with her, this particular client, I have gotten many clients from her. I've done most of her. I did her, one of her aunts, her mom, one of her mom's businesses, several friends. Like she's passed me on doctors, or she got me some good gets. My friend JJ, who's in the business in England, works for BBC. We've met in person, great, fabulous, wonderful. She was like, "Ooh, you're an organizer. You're a life coach. I know somebody who could use you." And she sent me some of her colleagues, she was working with in England to me. We worked on a time difference, but it was word of mouth. She goes, I know someone that I went in, sold myself. They liked what I had to say, and they hired me, and we worked together. So it's like, it's word of mouth is really important. When I first started, I had postcards made from Vistaprint, and Vistaprint, they're still around, Vistaprint. And what I did is I found areas I wanted to work in. And this is what a lot of Latinos do too, like gardeners, so they do the same thing. And I passed out my postcards because I was good at inventory and organization of offices, back rooms. I remember one section of town I went to was the almost Beverly Hills. They call it the La Cienega Quarter, West Hollywood area. Walked up and down the streets on Melrose, which is a famous street here. I went into every business. And I dropped a postcard. I said, "This is what I do. Just here you go. No pressure. Just you want to organize your back room. From organizing back rooms to inventory, whatever. I'm here. I have all these services. I can do that." I got hired from a few people. I did. Um, that was word of mouth because I did a postcard, talked to whoever who was there. That's a form of word of mouth too, where they go, "Oh, let me tell my boss about this guy." You go, this one girl, we totally hit it off. And she was like, she hired me later for her business. But she was like, she had told her boss about me. Like, he is so friendly and fun and blah, blah. And I came in and we had a good time. I did a couple of jobs for them. And I talk about, well, also the other one, how I got some of my famous people, was to other people I knew who said, James is an organizer and he works in the business, so he understands privacy. And some of the people I've gotten, they appreciate that. I won't. I'll now sign NDAs and stuff. I have no problem with that. But they just know that I'm in the business. I'm not there to put stuff on Instagram that I find in there. It's all that kinds of. Just know they can trust me. Because for me, why would I ruin one to get one picture of something they have in their garage? They see it, they fire me. That's big money I'm losing. That's big. I mean, I'm a businessman. I'm like, I don't care about all that. I got things to do. And it was the bomb. It was wonderful. And so I got where and they passed me on a couple of what they knew too. Like I said, some of my stuff was actual marketing, um, and reaching out on my own and applying for things. I mean, I got a job at Michael's. I'll tell that story another time. Which I think I talked about before, but that's another show. I don't want to talk about two topics at once. That's another show. Or how I got work with UCLA Medical Center, Beverly Hills. That's another show too. But the rest of my career mostly has been job to job. I got somebody, I know somebody, I know somebody else. Working with somebody, she goes, "You got to hire this kid." They call me a kid because the person was older. I got a kid, and he's so good, and so it's like it's very important. I put out a blog post at a lot of help.com, my website, and I last week talking about um, the customer isn't always right. They're not. Why? And I told why I say that. But there's a lot that goes on in your part too when a troubleshooting issue comes up. When you have to troubleshoot, put out a fire, they call it. How you act also is very important to the equation. But what word of mouth you will get and give, um, it is. I just I just tell people all the time. I try to. I've gotten jobs in the media business because of word of mouth, and that's what I try to do. I try to and I do the same thing. I have friends who are in various areas. I have a group of people in my life that we have. I know a good plumber. I know a good electrician. I know a good this guy and that guy, and I pass their names out all. I say their names all the time. And if they hire them, they do. They don't. I tell them it's no biggie, but just I pass along because I get passed along stuff too. And that's what you need. You need somebody to see your worth and go, yeah, James is worth it. I think you should know who he is and go from there. Make it work. So that's just something I wanted to share with you guys. I just think it's if you're new to business, or even if you're been in business for a while and you're like, I need to get you gotta get your people talking. Make sure your people are telling their friends, telling their family members, if that they trust, that they trust you, that they're like, I do you know anybody else? Like, if you're looking for work, go to your base and say, do you know anybody else in your base who could use an organizer? And they may be like, oh, you know what, I do know somebody. Or encourage them, your clients, to like keep their ear to the ground. Or someone says, my garage is a mess. Ding, I know somebody. You have to like start to train them to also think. Some people are that way naturally. They just think that way. But some people, it's not anything against you. They just don't think that. They're like, I don't. They may not know what your practice is or how you go about looking for customers and clients. So you're giving them the permission to go, no, anybody you want, if you think anybody's good, send them to me. I say it all the time. So that's our SOS show for short for today. I'm thankful to all my clients and the clients that talk about me, that have my name in their mouth. That's right. Super Organizer on a show on Facebook, X. Go there and check those out. I'll talk to you next time.